What's up, guys? This is Yanna, and welcome to Yanna unLoc'd. I normally do my once weekly commuter chronicles on my written blog, but today it kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to switch it up and do it here. For those of you who have not checked out my written blog, the link to it will be in the description box, so feel free to check it out. But in any case, I have a fairly long commute. To give you an idea of how long it is, I left my office this evening at 5:40. I walked into the door at my house. That didn't sound right. I walked into the door at my house. I walked in the door at my house at 7:20. That is about 10 minutes shy of a 2-hour commute door to door. And today was a good day. And when I say that, I mean, everything went as smoothly as it possibly could. I got to the subway, my train pulled in, I got on it, it ran express, there were no delays from the first stop to the last stop. It was great. I got off the subway, I went upstairs, my bus was sitting there like it was waiting just for me. It filled up really quickly. It was a limited. For those of you who are not familiar with the New York City transportation system, a limited bus simply means that it makes select stops along its route, but the stops are more frequent than an actual express bus. So it ran limited, and just shy of 2 hours, I got home. It was a good day. If you stay awake on New York City Transit, which I advise you to do, you experience a great many things. Some are good, some are not so good. Often, much of it is amusing. Today, on the first leg of my trip, which would be the subway, I am sitting down, and 3 young ladies who appear to be round about my daughter's age, so teenagers, anywhere between 15 and 17 is where I would put them, get onto the train. From the beginning of their conversation, it would appear that they were coming from school, and yet none of them had any school books. One of them was carrying a fairly large Victoria's Secret pink bag, which was chock full of everything except books. And she was highly offended when people asked her to move the bag out of the way. She had it slung over her shoulder, and she's standing in the doorway. And she got very offended when people asked her to move her bag out of the way so that they could enter and exit the subway car. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part of it was the conversation that I could not help but overhear, since they rode the train for pretty much 12 stops. And for a skip stop train, it is actually skipping every other stop. So 12 stops is 2/3 of the ride. In any case, I'm overhearing this conversation, and every other word is punctuated with a yo, a son, a my nigga, a yo, for real, man, what the fuck are you doing? That's so fucking stupid. Fuck, 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 yo, my nigga, son, I'm not doing that. The conversation was not that difficult to follow. It was just painful to hear. And the topics range from, why is it that every time you guys take me out to eat, you want to buy things from me off the dollar menu, to, well, I don't like this chick, but yo, we going up in her house and eat her food because, you know, she got cable. As a parent of a young woman who is around this age, it really saddens me that this is typical. That the majority of these young people, and it's even more offensive when it's young women, because it just, you know, when I was growing up, you were taught to be ladylike. And I know that can be a little bit of a stereotype. I know that, you know, it may not sound feminist, but what it basically means, and what I took it to mean, is that you conducted yourself in a certain way. It did not take away from your independence. It did not take away from anything about you. If, as a matter of fact, it made you more attractive. And I'm not talking about attractive to men per se. I mean, it just was a measure of your home training and how you felt about yourself when you were out in the street. So, when I see these young girls out here that are my daughter's age and all they can talk about are these young boys, all they can do is cuss and carry on, you know, wear gobs of makeup on their face, false eyelashes that I swear one day should make their eyelids fall off, and act as if they don't have half a brain in their head. It's really disappointing. But these are not my children. My daughter's friends, for the most part, don't behave that way. There are some that do. She has identified them. And, she says, Mommy, that's them. That's not me. She said to me one day, I have less friends this year because I've realized that a lot of my friends are now skanks. I think she said this to me before thought became a thing. So we're going to just go with skanks. But she recognized that sometimes as you grow, your friends either grow with you or you grow apart. And I'm very happy about that. My daughter is a typical teenager in the sense that, she goes to school, she has extracurricular activities, she hates homework, but she does it. She eats like there won't be any food tomorrow. Sleep is her best friend, and she is a money-sucking pit. But she's a good girl, and I love her. And she recognizes at a fairly young age that there's something to be said for the way you comport yourself and the company you keep. And her dad and I are very blessed to have had some part in that and to see that progress as she gets older. So that was the first leg of my journey. The second leg of my journey, and the part of it that was even more fun, is when I got on the bus. One of my pet peeves is if I am on the bus and I sit in the front, which I usually do because where I get off the bus, it's better for me to be in the front of the bus. There's no reason that you should be in the back and I should be privy to your entire conversation, be it with another person or be it on the phone. And yet this is what always happens. My other pet peeve is when you get on the bus, move to the back if the bus is crowded or it's going to get crowded. I know that we fought for the right to ride at the front of the bus. However, if everyone on the bus looks like you, there's no reason to stand up in the front. Move to the back, make room for everyone. You don't have a designated pole to hang on to in the front. All you're doing is impeding the progress that we're trying to make home or to whatever our final destination may be. But back to the telephone conversations. I am sure that by now, and given all of the posts I've seen on Instagram, some of which, yes, I confess, I've shared. I like to believe they are the less offensive ones. But regarding this whole Beyonce, Jay-Z, Solange situation, I did view the video, the extended version that TMZ, wonderful social media outlet that they are, posted. And yeah, Solo was really putting in work on Jay-Z. Had she been able to hit him upside the head with the stiletto the way she wanted to, he would probably be missing an eye right now, wearing a patch tomorrow, probably in the hospital. So yeah, it wasn't a pretty sight. It wasn't a pretty situation. However, I was not there. And I'm pretty sure that the young woman in the back of the bus with me this evening was not there either. You would not, however, have been able to tell that by her conversation, which went something like this. Yeah, so, they was in the elevator, and before they got in the elevator, Jay-Z must have like mushed Bay or something, because you don't just get in the elevator and go off like that, and that's my sister and you can't hit her. And I'm telling you, I don't, word to my mother, I don't be on Instagram like that. I don't use Instagram. But son, my girl is on Instagram all the time, and she just sent me a screenshot, and Solange was all like, yeah, he tried the wrong one, and you know, you can't hit my sister, and yeah, try it again. I'm not the one, so on and so forth. And yeah, she can't, you know, so he must have like mushed her or slapped her or something. Why you think she wasn't doing nothing while she was just laying up in the cut in the elevator while her sister was going after her man like that? Because I know if it was me, you know, you can't hit my sister and I'll not go to jail for you, son. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know, you know. I just hope that they still do the Run This World tour because, yo, I got tickets and they cost me a grip. That is another thing. Unless you have a fairly high paying job or parents who are willing to just give you money, please do not spend the equivalent of your car note, and for some people, the money for your car note, on concert tickets. I like a good concert as much as anyone, and I work very hard and I make a fairly decent salary, but I'm not going to spend the equivalent of my car note on tickets to see Jay-Z and Beyonce perform together. Not because I don't think that they're talented, but I think that I've seen most of it before and they call them music videos. So, you know, just a word to the wise, you might want to get your priorities in order. Um, we forget that these celebrities are real people. They bleed red, they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you and me. They have issues, just like you and me. We cannot put other people up on a pedestal and, you know, get so much gratification out of their lives that we're not living our own. I mean, I did repost some of the memes that I saw because they were a good laugh. They were a good laugh, and I am all for a good laugh. It's not really at their expense because they don't know me. So it's not like I'm making fun of someone personally or as if my reposting a meme actually impacts their lives in any way. By the same token, you shouldn't be so deep in your feelings about people that you don't know. That, you know, probably make more in one concert that you spent your car note on than you make in 5 years. So we need to really just re-examine ourselves and our lives and what we are teaching our children, what our ambitions are for ourselves. You know, if the highlight of your life is to spend X amount of dollars to go and see the On the Run tour, then you have accomplished your mission. But it's a big world out there. Instead of spending your money to further someone else's ambition, maybe you should spend it on yourself. And I'm not talking about, you know, spending it on an $800 bag when your rent is $1,100 and your annual salary is $19,000. That doesn't make sense. I mean, invest that money in yourself, in your education, in your children. Travel, do something other than try and live vicariously through people that you don't know who, yes, they will take your money and they love their fans because their fans buy their music or watch their performances. And there are a few people that I am a fan of, and yet I would still not pay a certain amount of money to go and see their concert because I just think it's ridiculous. When there's a fight out there for equal pay for women and the minimum wage and people are living in poverty, I just think that's a little bit absurd. So that is it for today. I am sure I will have much, much, much more interesting commuter chronicles to share come next week, maybe tomorrow, because you never know. But until next time, I will see you.